Hi everyone and welcome to today's Thank Card. It's Friday. Today I'll be making a little 3.5 by 3.5 inch square card and I'm going to use the Fanfare paper, which has been a favourite throughout my Thank Card It's Friday series, and I'm going to use this actual lace square image, and I started to cut it out, but I wanted you to see what it looks like on the actual designer series paper. So I'm just going to cut that out and then I'm going to place that on the front of this. Okay, so here's the piece that I've actually hand cut out. I cut it as a square, then I realised it was actually too square, and I really like the lace of this actual image. So I'm going to use this image here, and I've cut out a 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 very vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to use the Thank You stamp set. Now this stamp set's from the Blooming with Kindness, one of my favourites from this catalogue. And I'm just going to bring some bits and pieces together because I haven't designed this card yet. I'm thinking of just to keep it as simple as possible. I do like this embossing folder of the needle stitch one, so I'm going to incorporate that in here as well. Okay, so I adhered this down just by using my snail. Now I'm going to grab the itty bitty punch, and this is that 4-petal punch, and I'm just going to punch out a little notch just like that on either side, and just to be trying to keep it approximate. I'm not going to make it that perfect. Okay, so I'm just created notches here, and I've got my linen thread, and what I'm going to do is, once I've stamped my sentiment, is I'm going to wrap that around the front there. Okay, so I have my crumb cake ink and my Thank You from the Blooming with Kindness stamp set. So it's a fairly light ink, that crumb cake. I don't need it very prominent, but just enough. So I'm stamping it to the top left corner. Okay, so grabbing some dimension. I stick this square down. I'm going to actually run this through the Big Shot using that embossing folder I was telling you about. Okay, so I've put some dimensionals down on behind the stamped image, and I'll just focus in so you can see that. Take the glare away. And I'm going to adhere that down the middle of the card front. I'm going to wrap this around. And the notches are going to hold the actual linen thread. I'm going to wrap it around one more time actually. Like that. Okay, so then I'm going to tie a knot first. Sorry, my fingers are covering that. Okay, then I'm going to attempt to do a bow. Alright, so bow done. I'm just going to snip off the edges, and then I'm just going to secure that down with a little glue dot. Okay, so using the butterfly sizzlet, butterfly wing sizzlet, I've cut out already a little piece in vellum, but I'm going to do another little piece, this spotted piece, and I'm going to run that through the Big Shot. And this is the same Fanfare paper, but the other side. Alright, so I'm going to grab I think I might just use the same one, the same little butterfly. And I'm just grabbing a glue dot, and I've put a glue dot in between the vellum and then also behind the designer series paper. Put that down just like that. And I'm just going to lift the wings up a tiny bit like that. Alright, I'm just going to take some of that light out so you can see. I'll bring it up close, the butterfly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a couple of pearls in the middle of that, close so you can have a good look. And that's the card for Thank God It's Friday. Something very simple and small, but sometimes you just want something little to put into just a little gift or an envelope, and just to give it to a friend. So this one's actually going to a friend who's very close to my heart, and she's just been very helpful in the last couple of days, so I'm going to give this to her. So thank you for watching Thank God It's Friday. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Simple, short and sweet, and just using whatever paper you have on hand and making good use of them. Alright, happy paper crafting. See you later.